Hello everyone, this is Tim, and this is going to be a video response to Maps and Dragons, aka Phillip, and the topic is about dialogue in role-playing games. I'm not sure how much new material is going to be in my video, but I'll put a link down below to check out his video so you can see where I got the idea for this one. So, dialogue. These are the things we talk about in role-playing games. I'm sure it's been bandied about a bunch over the years. Speaking in character and saying the words that your character says out loud. You know, um, what about it? So, some people have critiqued this sort of thing, saying that you don't need to be an actor, you don't need to have an accent, and I agree. That's not necessary. That's like added extra layers that make things more enjoyable, perhaps for some people to listen to, for the other the other players listening in to what you're saying. So things like accents and speech patterns, pauses in various places. I mean, if you think about different characters in movies and such, like Yoda, for instance, his way of speaking is very memorable. So if you can come up with something like that for your character, that's cool. That's very exciting to see happen at a table. And often a lot of the other players and the GM will remember that character, where they might forget if you don't do something like that. So keep that in mind. Again, it's not a necessity, but it's sort of an extra, layer that you can add to your role playing. As far as what you actually say, the dialogue that your character speaks, Phil talked a lot about, knowing your character inside and out, having an idea on who they are, what they want, you know, who is your character. And a lot of these things can be decided, as Phil said, by dice rolls and your background that you've come up with. But I would say that, a lot of times you'll make a character and you won't know who they are until you sit down at the table and really, get into playing that character for, a good many hours. And often for myself, I have like an original concept in my head, and as I play the character, that concept changes and evolves and morphs and mutates into something different than I might have originally thought of. So be open to that changing of uh, the concept via experience of playing. And so if you know this character inside and out, you have played for a while. Um, when you get into a situation, you don't really have any like predetermined ideas for how it's going to go down. You're just sort of reacting to the situation around you, and you're defaulting to that familiarity. I can't say that word of your character. You can't. I'm sorry. You're gonna know who the character is, so the things that they say is natural. It just flows right out of you. It's sort of like this just energy. It's very exciting when that happens. I know I've had that happen a lot when I'm role playing NPCs, where it might start out as an idea or just like a quirk or two, but the more that I use that NPC, the easier it is for me to get in character and just say the things that I know they would say, make the decisions that I know they would make. Yes, sometimes you're going to get stumped. Like, I don't know what the character would do right now. But those moments are cool as well, where you pause for a second and you're like, well, I know what I would do as a person, but this character isn't me. So, you know, you need to kind of think through that, and then the words that they say will come out. It's nice when it flows right out of you, but even when it's not, that's kind of a cool experience too, because it makes you think, and you're involved with the game. You're trying to portray this character in the best possible way that represents them, truly how you envision them in your head. So be patient with yourself. If these kind of experiences don't happen yet, it might take some time. You might have to play that character more often. Give it some years. You might just need some experience as a role player to, I don't know what it is, like just like rewire your brain, or just get used to doing these sorts of things while you're sitting down at the table with other people. It can be a lot of fun. Just it's almost like taking a mental vacation. I'm sure I've talked about that before too, where you just pretend you're somebody else, you're role playing this other character, and you just go with it. You go with the flow, you improvise, and it's great when you can get a bunch of people that are all doing the same thing, all sort of just shooting from the hip. And here's what my character would do, and you know, so So yeah, that's just a basic short video on dialogue. Go with the flow, try to learn your character inside and out. Uh, don't necessarily have a giant backstory and then always have to stick with that. That character can change over time, and as different experiences happen to that character, they morph and change, and that dialogue that comes out of you that represents what they would say can change as well. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I just wanted to make a quick little video about that. So nice video, Phil. I'll talk to you later.